On March 18, 1984, a Japanese man named Kahatsu Izaki was enjoying an evening bath at home when suddenly two masked and armed men broke in and kidnapped him. Izaki was the owner of a famous Japanese candy factory called Glico. The next day, the criminals sent a ransom demand to the factory. They wanted 1 billion Japanese yen and 100 kilos of gold, equivalent to about $10 million USD at that time. They instructed the delivery would take place at a public phone booth on the street, with the location to be determined later. But 2 days later, before any ransom was paid, Izaki managed to escape his captors just before dawn. When no one was watching, he untied himself, broke down the door of the warehouse where he was being held, and fled. To answer your question, no, he wasn't naked, as they had given him clothes after kidnapping him. He ran far from the location until he found two ironworkers who helped him call the police. The problem was Izaki couldn't identify his kidnappers. He didn't see their faces or remember any distinguishing features. Even though the kidnapping failed, the criminals didn't give up. They sent a threatening letter to Izaki and his factory, demanding $480,000 and threatening to poison Glico's candy with cyanide if not paid. To prove they were serious, they secretly entered the factory and set parts of it on fire. This terrified all of Japan and forced Japanese police to deploy over 130,000 officers to catch them. Welcome to Beyond the Shadows, where forgotten places, strange stories, and eerie mysteries come to light. Join us as we step into the unknown, one shadow at a time. Today, Lines tell you about a case where the entire Japanese population helped police solve it, yet the criminal outsmarted everyone. Police didn't know who to blame and had no specific suspects. In the 1980s, such a perplexing case was extremely rare for them. Statistics showed Japanese police were the strongest in the world in 1983, solving 97% of murders and 55% of thefts. That the Japanese police failed to solve the Glico case became a black mark on their history, damaging their reputation. Even Japan's famous Yomiuri newspaper published a front-page article stating, "We do and remember a case in Japan's history where criminals mocked police like this." The humiliation was so severe that for over a year and a half, the criminals openly challenged police to catch them, sending more than 100 taunting letters. The letters mocked police and dared them to make an arrest, while paradoxically providing clues to help catch them. The first letter read, "To the stupid police, are you really this incompetent? If you were truly professionals, you would have caught us by now. But since you're amateurs, we'll give you some hints." The hint suggested possibilities like the criminal being a factory insider or the warehouse owners, where Izaki was held, the same warehouse he miraculously escaped from. The letter writer even provided details about the gray car used in the kidnapping and the supermarket where they bought food after the abduction. At the end of the letter was written, "If you caught and catch us after all this information, then you're simply thieves stealing people's tax money. People pay taxes to the state for security, but apparently we need to kidnap your police chief." Honestly, the criminals completely humiliated the police with this letter. After this letter, large quantities of letters started arriving at newspapers. The criminals had a talent for grabbing public attention in shocking ways. They sent letters to media outlets to ensure their threats spread widely, and indeed the case became national news in Japan. Everyone followed the crime as if it were a movie. The letters contained random information, but none of it helped police. This put law enforcement in an embarrassing position. To be fair, police worked extremely hard on the case, but the criminals were extraordinary. Authorities couldn't track them down at all. The only useful clue from all these letters was the dialect used. The writing matched how people from Osaka speak, suggesting the criminal might be from that city. While this was an insightful observation, it didn't actually help the investigation. After the first 3 months of the case, the letter writer began signing off as the mysterious man with 21 faces. Things continued this way until September 1984, when a second candy company called Morinaga started receiving threatening letters demanding $410,000 with the warning, do and ask what will happen if you do and pay. Morinaga ignored them and didn't pay a cent. 8 days later, Japanese newspapers received the following message. To all the idiots in Japan, in autumn when appetites are strong, candy tastes especially good. And of course, when we say candy, the first thing you'll want to eat is Morinaga candy. That's why we've added a special new flavor for you, potassium cyanide. It tastes slightly bitter, but at least it won't give your children cavities. We've put warning labels on the poisoned boxes. There are 20 contaminated boxes in stores from Hokkaido to Tokyo that same day. Stores and supermarkets across Japan indeed found candy boxes with cyanide warning labels. They recovered 18 boxes that day. One was found in a supermarket just 32 meters from Izaki's house, the first factory owner who was kidnapped. Although not all poisoned boxes were found, fortunately no one died. 2 boxes were never reported found. This prompted another threatening letter. Next time, there will be 30 poisoned boxes without any warning labels. In the 2 weeks following this message, over 40,000 police officers were deployed to monitor stores nationwide. What did this surveillance achieve? Nothing. No one could confirm if the criminals actually made 30 poisoned boxes or not. Investigators found security camera footage from a store where poisoned candy was found in the first incident. The video was blurry but showed a man with messy hair, glasses, and a baseball cap putting something on the shelf where the poisoned products were later found. The video quality was too bad to see his face clearly. Police shared the video with the public, hoping someone would recognize the man, but no one did. Police also released recordings of the threatening calls made to the candy companies. What scared people the most was the voice in the calls. It wasn't a gang member or the mysterious man with 21 faces. Instead, it was a woman and a young boy. In one call, a little boy told the company to leave money behind a bus station seat. Releasing these calls did not help the police. Instead, it made people even more curious about who this man with 21 faces really was. This went on until March 1985, a full year after Izaki's kidnapping. By then, 31 food and candy companies had received threats. The police worked hard but could not catch the criminal. Some companies even followed the criminal's orders and left money in certain places, but he never took it. One threat told Glico to send workers to wait by a payphone for a call. 2 undercover police officers went instead, but no call came. The next day, a letter arrived making fun of them. You think you're smart? You sent 2 cops dressed as workers. I knew right away their police eyes gave them away. The criminal always knew what the police would do. The strangest part was that the criminals never took any money. Then on August 12, 1985, a year and a half after Izaki's kidnapping, the mysterious man with 21 faces sent a final letter saying he was stopping. Later, people learned the police and media had received over 28,000 letters from the criminals, and the police had used more than 130,000 officers on the case. When these numbers came out, the police looked very bad. With so many letters and officers, they still couldn't find the criminal. They had to give some possible explanations. First, they thought someone from Izaki's factory might be involved. Many people didn't believe Izaki's story about escaping from the kidnappers. His factory only got threats, while Morinaga's candy was actually poisoned. Glico had to close and fire many workers. Would Izaki really hurt his own company? Second, they wondered if someone wanted revenge against food companies. 30 years earlier, in 1955, a milk factory accidentally poisoned baby milk with arsenic, killing 183 babies and making 12,000 sick. The factory was ruined. Could this be payback? The factory had paid the families of the sick children. But 14 years later, a report said the children who survived still had health problems. When the threat started, police thought, what if these children, now adults around 30 years old, were behind it? They suffered from poisoned milk as kids. Maybe now they wanted revenge. But then the police thought, if they were angry at the milk factory, why threaten all food companies? The third idea was that a man named Manabu Miyazaki did it. In 1984, when the threat started, one company was told to leave 100 million yen in a certain place. The company did this but told the police. Police saw a man there, but he ran away and they couldn't catch him. They made a sketch of him based on what the officers saw. The sketch looked just like Manabu Miyazaki. The sketch was so good that when police showed it to his mother, she said, "That's my son." His mother was from Osaka, the same place where the letters seemed to be written in the Osaka dialect. Also, Manabu was the son of a powerful Yakuza boss and already had many legal problems. But police couldn't arrest him because they had no proof. The police wanted to show they had worked hard. They looked back 30 years, suspected the poisoned children, and made a perfect sketch of Manabu. They gave all these ideas to the public, as if saying, "Here's what we found, you decide who did it. Now, here's something shocking." After the case ended, Manabu Miyazaki wrote a book about all the crimes he had done. The book's cover was the police sketch of him. The book sold very well and made 100 million yen. So if Manabu was the one who tried to take the 100 million yen but escaped, he still got the money just in a different way. And if it was really him, he made the police look more foolish than anyone else in the world. Now, who do you think the criminal is? Hit the like button and subscribe for more.